afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 as we begin another week.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, got a lot done. Yourself, your parents were in town?
Yeah, that was nice to see them for a while. We had a fun weekend. The weather was good. And today you're going to go driving in a fancy schmancy electric car.
Well,
right?
I'm not, but it's the Genesis, and it's electrified.
Ah, okay. Harvey Briggs will let us know all about it.
Actually, he's in Michigan, so he'll come in via Zoom, and we'll talk that way.
Very cool.
It's an interesting car, so stay tuned for that. Here's what's making news on this Monday. A Grammy-winning superstar who reigned on pop, country, adult, contemporary, and dance charts has died.
On the eve of the primary election, a last-minute push from the candidates.
And the president and first lady get a first-hand look at the flooding devastation in Kentucky. Let's take a look outside. A lot better than this past weekend.
Oh, that's for sure.
The humidity finally breaking. A time to dry out. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulti is in the backyard. We need some relief.
Yeah, especially southwestern Wisconsin. They got hit hardest by the rain, but basically from Madison on toward the south and west, I mean, temperatures or the precipitation was pretty widespread. But you can see on Doppler track now, all the rain is out of Wisconsin. That's good news. The clouds are here, but you can see the rain is gone, and even the clouds are breaking up to the north and west. And sunshine will start to move in before sunset, and then we're looking at clear to partly cloudy skies overnight. Clouds are keeping our temperatures down. Actually feels pretty nice out here. 69 officially in Madison, but most areas outside the city are a little bit warmer. Right now, 77 in Stoughton, 76 degrees down to the south in Brooklyn, but otherwise look for temperatures that are right now in the 60s and 70s to be a little more comfortable for tomorrow. Dew point temperatures are coming down. Notice they're in the lower 60s, and those numbers will continue to drop. That will lead to a cooler night tonight. Skies will turn partly cloudy this evening. Temperatures will drop into the middle 60s by late evening. And as we check out first warn traffic right now, roads are looking pretty good. Just checking the Beltline view at Fish Hatchery Road. Traffic moving pretty steadily in both directions. Right now, no problems on the Beltline from Middleton all the way down to the interstate I-3990. No problems on I-3990-94 east side of Madison or heading south from Madison. Remember that Highway 14 is closed south of Oregon for some construction. There are detours posted in that area. But otherwise, the main highways to the south and to the north of Madison in pretty good shape. Just a minor slowdown around Portage on I-39 northbound. That's your news for now. First warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. And we start with breaking news this afternoon. In the last couple of hours, we've learned Australian singing sensation Olivia Newton-John has died.
The singer whose voice and wholesome beauty made her one of the biggest pop stars of the 70s, charmed generations of viewers in the blockbuster movie Grease. Olivia Newton-John died today, according to a statement from her husband. She was 73 years old. A little later on Live at 4, we'll look back on her life and career and share some more highlights. Very sad and shocking news today.
She defined a decade, that's for sure.
She definitely did.
In other news, candidates are making their final push ahead of tomorrow's August primary, while election workers are preparing to open the polls at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
It's a big day tomorrow. We have reporters working on both angles, and we begin with our political reporter, Will Keneally, this afternoon. He caught up with Rebecca Clayfish, who continued her bid for governor this morning in a Madison East Side restaurant. Will?
Susan, that's right. And to say that the race is close is an understatement. Recent Emerson College poll released this weekend shows Clayfish is in a statistical tie with Tim Michels, both a slight edge in the race. That comes just a few days after former President Donald Trump was in Waukesha, stumping for Michels. For her part, Clayfish is endorsed by former VP Mike Pence, but said today she's not focused on those endorsements.
Voters should check their voter registration on MyVote to make sure that they're registered at their current address, and if they're not, they should bring proof of residence.
Stand by. Right. So for his part, Michels was in Franklin today, meeting with voters and at the state fair. Clayfish was around the state today, spent some time in northern and western Wisconsin, and will finish up the night in Brookfield. So you may be wondering why a Republican would campaign in Madison. There are actually a fair number of Republican votes in Dane County. So in the 2018 governor's race, if you look at the raw votes, not just the percentage, Dane County was actually the Republicans' third best county beside Waukesha and Milwaukee counties. We have more more previewing the Republican race for governor coming up tonight at 5.
All right, well, thank you. And tomorrow's race is a primary where we typically see a lower turnout than a general election.
Catherine Merck touched base with the clerk in Verona today, where we're seeing one of our area's most competitive local races, to see how they're expecting people to turn out tomorrow. Catherine?
Ahead of tomorrow's election, there's obviously a lot of talk about the big races, like the governor spot Will just told you about, and the Senate seat. But in places like Verona, there's smaller elections that will also make a big impact for the people who live in that area. The Verona city clerk told me there's a lot of talk around the Assembly District race on the ballot. However, absentee voting was still lower than in previous years. The clerk credits COVID and fewer restrictions, saying she expects a larger turnout tomorrow in person. She has some last-minute reminders for those planning to head to the polls tomorrow, not just in Verona, but all around Wisconsin.
Voters should check their voter registration on My Vote to make sure that they're registered at their current address. And if they're not, they should bring proof of residence with them to the polls. And also they should check their polling location, as some locations did change with redistricting.
Like we said earlier, the polls will be open starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow, and they'll close at 8 o'clock at night. But if you're in line at 8, you'll still be able to vote.
Good to know. Catherine, thank you. Another assembly race that will get state attention is the 63rd in Racine County, where Assembly Leader Robin Vos is being challenged by Adam Steen. Donald Trump endorsed Steen last week. Today, a new twist. Michael Gableman, the former Supreme Court justice who was hired by Vos to investigate the 2020 election, is now endorsing Steen. Gableman said in a robocall he recorded for the Steen campaign, Vos did not do enough regarding the 2020 investigation. Don't forget to tune in for Campaign 2022 tonight, Battleground Wisconsin. It is a 1-hour special that will look at all of the major races in tomorrow's primary. It airs tonight at 7 p.m. right here on News 3 Now.
A small Muslim community in Albuquerque, New Mexico is living in fear after the recent killings of 4 Muslim men. Albuquerque police are asking for the public's help locating this person, this gray Volkswagen sedan, possibly used in connection with the recent killings. The latest murder happened Friday night. Pakistani immigrant Naheem Hussein was shot and killed returning from a funeral for 2 other victims. Hussein was the 3rd Muslim man murdered in the city in less than 2 weeks.
It's painful. We're in shock. We cannot go out of our house. My kids, whenever I step out of my room, they start crying. We didn't have any fear. Now it is super painful.
Police think the murders may all be connected and are actively seeking the eyes and ears of citizens to track down the killer or killers. Local leaders are trying to calm nerves. The mayor has pledged increased patrols around mosques. COVID-free President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden traveled to Kentucky to see the damage and to meet with victims of the worst flooding in the state's history.
At least 37 people have died and 2 are still missing. Natalie Brand has more from Washington.
President Biden and the First Lady joined Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear to get a close-up look at the devastating flood damage in eastern Kentucky. They offered comfort to the victims.
To see what's happened to their properties, their trailer, everything they had, and how they've come together. No complaining, just getting up and going to get it done.
At an elementary school now converted to a donation center, the president received a briefing on response efforts.
Federal government, all its resources, we're not leaving. As long as it takes, we're going to be here.
It's the president's 2nd visit to the Bluegrass State in less than a year. Last December, he surveyed the damage after tornadoes ripped through western Kentucky, killing 77 people.
The trials and tribulations we Kentuckians have faced are hard to understand. But one thing we've proven over and over is that Kentuckians do not break.
During the trip, the Biden administration again pointed to the impacts of climate change and the need to invest in making communities more resilient.
We're going to come back better than before.
Now, as Kentuckians dig out, there's still the threat of even more flooding, with heavy rain in the forecast this week. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Administrators from FEMA were also in Kentucky with the president today. The agency has provided over $10 million in relief funds and hundreds of personnel to help.
A third tank has exploded at a large oil storage facility in western Cuba. That tank blew up as firefighters struggle to fight the massive blaze. At least one person has died and 125 are injured, with another 14 reported missing ever since lightning struck one of the facility's 8 tanks on Friday night. A second tank caught fire Saturday, triggering several explosions at the facility, which plays a key part in Cuba's electric system. The Biden administration has announced another $1 billion in new military aid for Ukraine. Today's pledge promises what will be the biggest yet delivery of rockets, ammunition, and other arms straight from the Department of Defense stocks for Ukrainian forces. The Pentagon announcement of a massive new shipment of arms comes as analysts warn that Russia is moving troops and equipment in the direction of the southern port cities to stave off a Ukrainian counteroffensive.
The CDC is expected to relax some of the COVID restrictions soon, just as kids head back to school. According to a draft document obtained by CBS News, the changes could allow schools to relax their strict social distancing measures, which have already been effectively phased out by the CDC. They'd also de-emphasize so-called test-to-stay strategies, where students exposed to the virus take regular tests to stay in the classroom.
So the test-to-stay strategies, we've turned over a lot of infections that were asymptomatic and forced kids out of the classroom. I think they can lift those things at this point, and that seems to be where CDC is heading.
Another potential update: to those exposed to COVID would no longer need to quarantine, vaccinated or not. Instead, the recommendation would be to mask for 10 days and test 5 days after exposure. Dr. Gottlieb said the CDC would still ask schools to remain vigilant.
We're seeing some of that debris from a SpaceX mission that was found scattered across remote parts of Australia. The debris was charred after re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, with the largest piece around 3 meters in length. Officials say it's not a public hazard. The farmer who found it didn't know quite what it was because it was obscured and easily mistaken from afar as a burnt tree. Yeah, from a distance, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, no danger if that fell on you?
Yeah, right. Well, a lot of space out there.
There's a lot of space. Still to come at 4 hour film critic Will Loper has the weekend box office numbers.
He'll also have some suggestions on streaming shows you might want to catch. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Wanakee Furniture, ETC. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
And my economic plan is moving this country in a better direction.
What planet is he living on? Record gas prices, 40-year high inflation, costing families $5 grand more for their necessities. Sorry, Joe, that's the wrong direction. Here on planet Earth, Senator Johnson voted against Biden's massive deficit spending that sparked inflation, and he passed tax cuts to help Wisconsin families survive the economic turmoil caused by Democrats.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin.
Ask about our Designer Kids package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
These are the faces that smile so wide at the friends and staff who are by their side, where life is lived with a feeling of pride on every bump of life's great ride that comes from the care that sweetens the air that lives in the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community, independent homes, and 4 levels of assisted living, built with the help of angels.
Ooh, Kohler, of course.
When were you going to tell me about the new shower?
Oh, you like it?
I love it.
I designed it myself.
Is she bragging about our shower again?
Wow.
It was all Kohler Luxstone. The walls, the storage, the shower head, everything. A Kohler authorized dealer walked us through every detail, and installation couldn't have been easier.
Shop local for quality made in the USA products at Wanakee Furniture, ETC. Browse a wide variety of sofas and hardwood home furnishings from brands you can trust, like Smith Brothers, Simply Amish, and Flex Steel. Every style, every budget.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Well, 3 white men who chased down and murdered an unarmed black jogger in Georgia in 2020 faced a second round of criminal penalties Monday for federal hate crimes. The family of Ahmaud Arbery, along with their attorney and civil rights leaders, Reverend Jesse Jackson, emerged from a Georgia federal court moments after Travis McMichael received a life sentence plus 10 years for committing a federal hate crime.
I wanted them to know the pain that we as the family goes through every day. And for Travis to make a suggestion that he wanted to do his time in federal prison.
McMichael was already sentenced earlier this year to life without parole in state court for shooting and killing the unarmed 25-year-old jogger, as was his father, Gregory McMichael, who chased Arbery through Brunswick, Georgia in 2020 along with his son. The older McMichael also received a second life sentence along with 7 extra years. We have an update from the Department of Health Services on how it'll invest Wisconsin's opioid settlement payments.
The settlement between justice departments around the country and opioid distributors and a manufacturer, $400 million, are projected to be recovered for the state of Wisconsin, with 70% of that money going directly to counties and municipalities. State officials today outlined how the money will be used. Phase 1 emphasizes harm reduction efforts like expanding Narcan direct programs and access to fentanyl testing strips. Phase 2 zeroes in on the need for new and updated facilities across Wisconsin, including for tribal nations. And Phase 3 focuses on long-term project investments like treatment and family support centers.
These funds have an opportunity to transform the response to the opioid epidemic and finally to turn the corner in this fight. It's critical, though, that those funds get to our communities as soon as possible.
The plan was developed based on feedback from the public, first responders, providers, and stakeholders. Though settlements with companies like Purdue Pharma and Mallinckrodt have not been reached, AG Call says he expects the state to recover tens of millions of dollars from each company.
It was a quiet day on Wall Street as investors await this week's inflation data. The Dow Industrials gained 29 points, closing at 32,832. The NASDAQ lost 13. The S&P 500 gave up 5. One of the last big summer blockbusters hit theaters this past weekend, and it's another hit for Brad Pitt.
Here's Live at 4's film critic Will Loper with this week's Loper Report.
Hey, Susan and Mark. If you're a fan of action, you'll want to board the Bullet Train, which sped to #1 at the box office this past weekend with $30 million.
Talk to me.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me. Because if you put peace out in the world, you get peace back.
I think you might be forgetting what you do for a living.
Brad Pitt stars as a reluctant assassin who just needs to get a briefcase off a train. Only problem is that train is filled with other assassins, including Lemon and Tangerine, played by Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
We need to find the person who took that case.
Of course, the story isn't quite that simple. There's Tarantino-level jumping around in the plot as we see backstories and flashbacks play out, which can feel convoluted, but just stay strapped in because everything does tie together in the end.
Get off at the next stop.
Sounds so easy when you say it.
The action is mostly fun, including one sequence where Pitt and Henry fight in the quiet car. But the humor and dialogue feel like thrift store Guy Ritchie, never quite nailing the tone it wants to.
What's happening to your face? Maybe there was a little head trauma?
Maybe. Still, if you need 2 hours to just turn your brain off and watch a bunch of over-the-top fight scenes and action sequences on high-speed rail, Bullet Train will more than satisfy you. Fans of action and Guy Ritchie humor, this is the movie for you. Over on streaming services, new on Netflix Wednesday is the second season of the addictive reality series Indian Matchmaking.
I'm back. In the past, matchmaking was easy, but it has become tough for me. And when they come to me, they have a lot of criteria. They want everything.
The guy has a tattoo, that's a huge plus. Someone has enough hair to do a man bun, great. I'm ovo-lacto semi-vegetarian.
I don't do a magical wish with a wand.
Newly streaming on Discovery Plus is the series Recipe Lost and Found.
I need to know who your grandma was and what her history was, where she came from, what ingredients she might have used and when.
We're hoping to find this recipe, and we're hoping that you can help us with that.
Chef Casey Korn helps people discover the long-lost recipes in their families.
They're convinced there were no breadcrumbs in the meatballs.
Just because they didn't see them doesn't mean they're not there.
Family recipes always have some little thing that makes them different.
There are as many different recipes as there are grannies, and that's just the bottom line.
And streaming on Wednesday on Disney Plus is the series I Am Groot. The Guardians of the Galaxy spin-off stars that cute little talking tree known as Groot in several vignettes.
I'm Groot.
We're live at 4. I am Groot. I am Will Loper.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
I want to see that Indian matchmaking.
That looks interesting.
That does
it looks
look
pretty
really
funny.
Interesting.
All right, still to come at 4, bringing a bit of Silicon Valley to Brooklyn.
We'll find out how a former WNBA basketball star is forming young minds in all sorts of ways, coming up after Gary's First Warn forecast.
In an accident, do you know who to call?
Call Gruber Law Offices.
Everybody knows that.
The call and consultation are always free.
Heard in an accident?
Everybody knows you call Gruber Law Offices.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate summer with our hot summer sale. We're talking about sizzling savings of 22%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 2 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board for our hot summer sale. Save 22% off gutters with any full roofing or siding project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
I'm Rebecca Clayfish, and your choice for governor is clear. I'm the Tea Party mom who took on the Madison establishment and won. Tim Michaels is a Madison insider who's enriched himself with your tax dollars. I stood with Scott Walker to cut your taxes. Tim Michaels sided with the union bosses and pushed to raise our gas tax to make himself richer. Tim Michaels is out for himself. I'm Rebecca Clayfish. As governor, I'll always fight for you.
Research shows that people remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Look what I brought!
Liberty Mutual! They customize your home insurance!
So you only pay for what you need! Young people having a good time with insurance! Young people, good times, insurance!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Nicorette knows quitting smoking is freaking hard. You get advice like, just stop. Go for a run. Go for 10 runs. Run a marathon. Instead, start small with Nicorette, which can lead to something big. Start stopping with Nicorette.
Enamel is the hardest tissue in the body. It's a protective layer outside your teeth. Pronamel repair is our first line of defense. It goes deep into the surface of the tooth to actively repair it. I personally use Pronamel repair every single day, morning and night.
Madison Magazine's Best of Madison issue is here. Meet the Reader's Poll winners that make our city a slice of paradise. And visit 2 families whose bond stands strong through the trials of war. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now.
Want to know right now what the weather will be like tomorrow? Download the First Warn Weather app and you'll get my customized forecast for tonight and tomorrow.
The First Warn Weather app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
If you lived or worked at Marine Corps Base, Camp Lejeune, during 1953 to 1987 and have developed any of these medical conditions, you may be entitled to compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Well, take a look at this. It's so hot, rising temperatures are causing Florida turtles to be born female. Here's why. Recent hotter summers have led to warmer sand on the beaches, and the temperatures of the developing eggs is what decides the sex of the sea turtles. If a sea turtle egg incubates above 88.8 degrees Fahrenheit, the hatchlings will be female. Scientists have seen it for themselves in the Florida Keys over the past 4 summers. They've seen more female sea turtle hatchlings and a lot less males. And of course, with fewer males, there would eventually be no baby sea turtles at all.
Boy, that's really fascinating.
That is
but
scary.
I was going to say it's more scary than fascinating because of climate change. I mean, the waters of the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean around Florida.
Like bath water.
Well, you said even in Charleston.
Yeah, it's very, very warm. Yeah.
Which also, will affect the hurricane season and the intensity of storms. Right now, it's pretty quiet out there. And our weather finally is quiet after stormy past 24 or 36 hours. But some hope is on the horizon to dry out. I'll have the First Warn forecast in just a couple minutes.
What's so great about being a Pick and Save Boost member? Free delivery on the Pick and Save products you love, and more rewards like double fuel points. Boost by Pick and Save Fresh Perks, a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year. Learn more at pickandsave.com.
Rebecca Clayfish. She's the ultimate Madison insider. Clayfish went to China to sell out Wisconsin workers. Back home, Clayfish took big money from lobbyists and then went to work for one, working for special interests backing amnesty for illegal immigrants. Pro-China, pro-amnesty. No wonder Clayfish refused to support Donald Trump. Rebecca Clayfish, the pro-China, pro-amnesty, anti-Trump politician. She's the ultimate Madison insider.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity, using less or a lot less oral pain medicines, and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started. Now place your order and lock in 2.9% APR for 60 months on select Ford vehicles, and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in.
Outlets at the Dells, an attraction not to be missed. With over 60 of the world's biggest brands, we thrill family vacationers, trendsetters, and all who love a smoking hot discount. We're all about the thrill of the deal, the joy of finding the thing you forgot to pack, the backpack that the kids really, really want, the sneakers that make PE class the most awesome, and the discounts that no one else can touch. Get the first day look they want and save up to 70% off everything for back to school. Visit outletsatthedells.com for coupon and details.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A lot
lot of us got some heavy rain over the last couple of days, and others didn't pick up quite as much. But take a look at some of these rainfall reports from the official reporting stations and here at the station. Rockford, Illinois picked up over 6 inches of rain in a couple of rounds of heavy thunderstorms. They got hit hard Saturday night and Sunday morning, and then again last night into early this morning. Dubuque, Iowa, about 3¼ inches of rain. Here at the station, just a shade over 2½ inches of rain on the southwest side of town. Northeast side of town at the airport in Madison, 2.17 inches. But up to the north, La Crosse, only a little more than an inch, and much of that fell last night. Milwaukee, even with a couple of rounds of showers and storms moving through, they picked up just a little over 1/3 of an inch of rain. Now, over the last 24 hours, Rain Vision shows where the heaviest bouts of rain fell, again across parts of northern Illinois. The rain on Saturday kind of favored this area just to the west, but you can see that there were bands of about 1 to 2 inches of rain in the blue shades. Some of the storms headed toward Madison area and kind of weakened as they pushed into the city, and then up to the north, a little band of thunderstorms dumped about 1 inch or 2, and then down toward the Illinois state line. But again, as those storms dropped into northern Illinois, that's where the heavier rain was. This is the rainfall total over the last 72 hours. Look at that bullseye across parts of northern Illinois. Some areas may have picked up over 10 inches of rain over parts of Stevenson County. Again, Rockford, just out to the east of there, picked up over 6 inches of rain. But a general swath of 3 to 6 inches of rain through southwestern Wisconsin, much of Grant County, Darlington, over toward Platteville, Lancaster, and south of Prairie du Chien. Another area of about 2 to 4 inches of rain just north of the Wisconsin River through southern Sauk County and much of western and northwestern portions of Dane County. Outside of that, most areas picked up about 1 to 2 inches of rain. But Doppler track now is free of precipitation across the state. We have some time to dry out. Notice nothing upstream, so that's good news. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Little rain is expected through Friday. Maybe a shower or thunderstorm chance for a couple of spots Wednesday night. Otherwise, dry through Friday. We'll have a brief warm-up on Wednesday with high temperatures in the mid-80s. Otherwise, temperatures will mainly be in the 70s tomorrow, and then again Thursday and Friday at the end of the week, and probably into next week as well. The weather pattern is slowing down. Take a look out in the Pacific Ocean, and you can see the absence of clouds or major weather systems in the eastern Pacific Ocean and much of the western part of the country, other than the monsoon rain in the southwestern portion of the country. So that means we really don't have any big chances for rain, at least over perhaps the next 7 days or so. The showers and thunderstorms are pushing down to the south ahead of the cold front that came through last night with the last round of showers and storms. So that's where all the humidity is. Our part of the country really starting to dry out. High pressure moving in from the west. Take a look at these temperatures. 70s for the most part. 69 right now in Madison thanks to the cloud cover. But where there's sunshine, temperatures warm back into the upper 70s, and that's what we'll see for tomorrow. But more importantly, those dew points. 60s and 70s now across Illinois. Lower 60s here. 50s and even some 40s to the north and west. Some comfortable weather is on the way. For tomorrow, look for skies to become mostly sunny and be pleasant after a little morning fog. High temperature at 78 degrees, and that 7 to 10 day forecast looking just as nice. Again, a slight chance for a thunderstorm Wednesday night, Thursday and Friday dry. Maybe a little better chance for a shower or thunderstorm Friday night into Saturday, but right now I'm still thinking about a 1 in 3 chance for that, and maybe a thunderstorm chance about Tuesday of next week. Otherwise, those temperatures very comfortable. We've dropped them just a notch into the upper 70s. Nighttime low temperatures around 60 degrees. Good, comfortable sleeping weather. Probably can cut back on the AC. All in all, a pretty good looking forecast.
Perfect for election day tomorrow, too?
Yeah.
No
for the
problem.
second week in August. I mean,
yeah.
You can't buy that.
Keep your fingers crossed.
All right, Gary.
You're tired, aren't you? He was saying that your dog was barking at the thunder last night.
Louis barks at why are you barking? He's barking at the thunder.
And Joe?
Yeah, I wish.
Sound asleep on the sofa.
All right, Gary, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Well, you might have seen Nisha Butler scoring points as a professional basketball player for the New York Liberty.
Now she's scoring points for education, teaching children skills for some of the nation's most important jobs.
Astrid Martinez has the story.
Nisha Butler is blazing a trail, bringing a bit of Silicon Valley to Brooklyn.
Let's run your program and see if you get it right.
Butler opened the STEAM Champs Education Center in July. That's STEM with an extra A for arts, teaching skills from computer coding to robotics to chess.
We're a science, technology, engineering, arts, and math center. We wanted to include art. A lot of times the kids are on the computer a lot, and they don't have a lot of unplugged activities.
For this native New Yorker, it's another pivot in an already impressive career that began on the basketball court at Georgia Tech and then the WNBA's New York Liberty. But the STEM was planted when she was 12 and took her first computer science class.
I really look back to that time because that set the foundation, that gave me the confidence, that gave me the skill. It was a year-long class. And I realized I was the only female in that class, and of course the only person of color in that class.
A poll released last year found black people account for just 9% of the STEM workforce, a statistic Butler wants to change. 7-year-old Theodore Van is one of her students, though a STEM job is just one of his career goals.
I want to be a basketball player, soccer player, tennis player, and I want to be a scientist, a pizza chef, and I want to go up to space.
Did you imagine this would be your afterlife after basketball?
You know what? No, I didn't. I'm actually having a purpose to make a difference in these kids' lives.
A difference that could open young minds to new possibilities and build a pathway to success. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, Brooklyn, New York.
And Butler believes STEAM Champs, which it's called, is the country's first Afro-Latina-owned educational center.
It specializes in coding and robotics.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well, coming back, a farewell to Olivia Newton-John.
And then coming up next hour at 5, as the demand for monkeypox vaccine grows, News 3 Now investigates the need for the vaccine in our community. We'll have that story at 5.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. Farxiga is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare, life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about Farxiga. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of road and triathlon bicycles from Moots, Giant, Felt, Waterford, and Trek. Trek has a great lineup of sport touring bicycles that are great for day tours and charity rides. The place to shop for the world's most beautiful bicycles is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world. Free adjustments and service are included in your Machinery Row bicycle. So many fun things to look at and bicycles to test ride on the bicycle path by the lake at Machinery Row Bicycles.
New at 5, how well do you know the candidates? We have a full rundown of the races and what it means for each party.
After showers and thunderstorms over the weekend dumped heavy rain over much of southern Wisconsin, we should have a few days to dry out with little rain expected and near normal temperatures. I'll tell you how much rain fell at 5.
Then at 6, boundaries were pushed at the 2022 CrossFit Games as one competitor suffered a major health complication. We speak with the athlete about the fitness crisis tonight at 6. A live look at a cloudy downtown Madison on this August afternoon. Cooling off, though. That's the good news. As we mentioned earlier, Australian singer and actress Olivia Newton-John passed away today at her home in Southern California at the age of 73.
Her career took off playing the doe-eyed Sandy in the movie Grease, but Newton-John made a lifetime of music and devoted herself to charitable causes.
Michael George has more on her life and career.
Olivia Newton-John took 80s aerobics to another level. The title single off her double platinum album, Physical, spent 10 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was not only the biggest hit of the pop singer's career, but the #1 hit of the entire decade. The English-born, Australian-raised singer rose to fame in the 1978 movie adaptation of the musical Grease. She played Sandy, opposite John Travolta's Danny Zuko. The movie became the biggest box office hit of the year and enjoys an enduring popularity in the U.S.
40 years later, who would have thunk it?
Cast members and the director reunited in 2018 for the film's 40th anniversary.
We feel very grateful that this is still a part of everyone's. They love it.
Off-screen, Newton-John was a longtime activist for environmental and animal rights issues. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1992. It returned for the third time in 2017.
You look pretty fearless to me right now. I'm not afraid of anything right now.
Speaking with Gayle King for Sunday Morning, Newton-John relied on her trademark sunny optimism.
I've chosen that path to be grateful and to feel good about things because the other side's not so good.
Newton-John poured her energy into her own healing and raising money for her cancer center in Australia, supporting research for plant-based medicine and wellness therapies.
Really delighted with all the support that we're getting for the centre.
Newton-John was made a dame in 2020 for her service to charity, cancer research, and entertainment, all things close to her heart.
I honestly love you.
Michael George, CBS News.
It's really sad.
It is very sad.
Newton-John's memoir, Don't Stop Believing, was released in September of 2017.
She devoted herself to lots of charitable causes, as you saw in that story. She also had a personal dream to see a cure for cancer in her lifetime. Olivia Newton-John leaves behind a daughter.
Still to come at 4, has the time come for electric vehicles to go mainstream?
An upcoming offering from Genesis is a step in that direction. We'll go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs in the 2023 Genesis electrified G80. Stay with us.
Are you looking for a little bit more life on the open road? Sounds pretty good to me. We are here at Wisconsin RV World in DeForest, the oldest towable licensed dealer in the state of Wisconsin. That's a lot to stand on. Christy, tell us about these beautiful, beautiful beauties behind us.
Well, we've got a lot of new brands, and that's why we're here today. Lance is one of our newest ones. It's our most luxurious, and it's one of our only 4-season campers. It can sleep up to 6 to 7 people. It can be towed by just about any half-ton vehicle. Some of the other great features are the kitchens. They're a lot more livable these days. You get larger refrigerators, butcher block countertops, backsplash tiles, and the same with bathrooms, larger, more storage, and then also the bedrooms. They are featuring a lot more king beds. One of our products has a new feature called the King Bed Slide, which means you can slide one all the way over, still can get dressed in your bedroom, which is not always the case.
You are going to think you're in your own home. And then you have the Camp 365, which is so versatile.
Yeah, you can go anywhere, do anything with it. You can use it 365 days a year, and it can be towed from anything from your UTV to a hybrid, and that's one of its greatest features. And then we also carry the Gravity fifth wheel toy hauler, and from as large as a 14-foot garage, you can get your UTVs in there, your motorcycles, and we were very excited to have the Gravity fifth wheel toy hauler, which we have not had in some time.
Christy, thank you so much. You can't buy happiness, but it's dang close. Come and find out why right here at Wisconsin RV World in DeForest. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
I'm Rebecca Clayfish, and your choice for governor is clear. I'm the Tea Party mom who took on the Madison establishment and won. Tim Michaels is a Madison insider who's enriched himself with your tax dollars. I stood with Scott Walker to cut your taxes. Tim Michaels sided with the union bosses and pushed to raise our gas tax to make himself richer. Tim Michaels is out for himself. I'm Rebecca Clayfish. As governor, I'll always fight for you.
Why do dermatologists choose Dove?
The Dove Beauty Bar is gentle, not only cleans, hydrates my skin.
As a dermatologist, I want what's best for our skin.
With 1/4 moisturizing cream, Dove is the #1 bar dermatologists use at home.
Habitat Restore is full of great finds at great prices for a great cause. With a unique inventory of high-quality, low-cost goods, you can save money and feel good about your purchase. Shop Restore Dane County today.
Well, as we check out first warning traffic, not a problem out there. This is the view of the Beltline at Stoughton Road. You can see traffic is pretty light and moving steadily in both directions. Not seeing any problems along the Beltline, I-39, 90, and 94 on the east side of Madison. As far as travel time is concerned, about a 15-minute commute either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and I-39, 90. Heading out of Madison, it'll take you 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville, down to the south. Middleton to Sauk City out toward the northwest on US 12 is a 16-minute trip downtown to Sun Prairie. East Washington Avenue and US 151 takes you 18 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. Hundreds of dog fans and dozens of dogs gathered on Pacific State Beach in Pacifica, California over the weekend for the World Dog Surfing Championships. Dogs competed in categories according to size in small, medium, and large groups. The dogs are judged on multiple factors, including the length of the ride, their technique, standing on all fours versus sitting, and laying down, confidence, and size or strength of the wave.
I'm not sure if they like it or not.
That's a good question. Yeah, we got to get the news hounds on a little road trip. Check that out.
Yeah, but they got the life vest on. That's good.
Well, most electric vehicles are brand new from the ground up with minimal or futuristic styling.
Most, but not all. Let's get behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs with a car that bends all the rules. The Genesis G80. We've done this before.
We have done the G80, but we haven't done this G80 because, Mark, there is no engine in this vehicle.
Officially, it's the 2023 electrified G80.
They're downplaying this for some reason. They're not even calling it an electric vehicle. So it's really a different way to think about it. And, you know, I think it works for what this is because they want people to think about electric vehicles as just another car.
But it's not just another car. It's a Genesis G80. The electric G80 has everything that's great about the gas-powered version, and that's pretty great.
In its internal combustion version, we love this car. In electric, it's even better. There are so many cool things you can do with this. First of all, you can put it in sport mode and do this.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds.
And quiet.
Super quiet. You hear this thing? This luxury sedans need to be electric because what you want from a luxury sedan is smooth and quiet.
Silence is golden. There was no sound.
Yeah, this is just smooth and quiet. It's really well done. And Genesis has done a good job with all of the luxury appointments on this in terms of the quality of the interior, the overall design. It's just a really well put together and well thought out conversion.
And conversion is a key word here because they took the gas model and converted it. They had to squeeze batteries and electronics under the floor. The batteries eat into trunk space. They also raised the floor a bit so there's a little less head and leg room, and there's no front trunk like most electric vehicles where you can store things.
With this one, you have
an engine.
Yeah, it looks like an engine, doesn't it? But when you pull the plastic off, you have all the electronic components here.
Almost perfect. Except that is one ugly grill. It's ugly on the gas one.
Well, let's just say it's polarizing.
The electrified G80 has one option: paint color.
This will only be sold at the top trim level with the electric vehicle. Part of that is just because batteries and everything are so expensive. They might as well content this thing all the way up. Otherwise, you feel like you're getting a cheap car and having to pay a lot of money for it.
Will be is the key. It goes on sale this fall and will probably sell for between $75,000 and $80,000, but don't be rushing to put down a down payment just yet.
This is not on sale yet. It will go on sale in California, Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey a little later this summer, and then sometime probably early next year we'll start to see it roll out nationwide. But we were lucky enough to get one now.
So it's an EV for people who don't want to let anyone know you have an EV.
Exactly. Maybe you don't want them to know you're quite such a tree hugger. I don't know. Genesis has done a really good job with their overall design work. We can argue about the grill, and a lot of people will.
Other than that grill, an electric car that doesn't look like a doorstop.
Yep.
The G80 is a remarkably normal EV, a breath of fresh air, a silent breath of fresh air, the way it should be. Beautiful car.
It is a beautiful car, yeah.
And Harvey took a little break from his vacation in Michigan to join us today to talk about this G80 electrified. Hi, Harvey.
Hi, Harvey.
Hey, how are you guys?
I didn't put in range or recharging time, so let's talk about that. What's the range on this car?
Well, it's not EPA rated now, but Genesis is estimating the range at 282 miles. When I had it over 300 miles of range. But again, we're driving it in the Midwest in perfect weather, so that's going to be really optimal. I would think, 280 would be about what you want. And then recharging, because Genesis uses a 350 kilowatt, 800 volt system, it charges very quickly. So if you find a 350 kilowatt charger, you can go from 10% to 80% in 21 minutes in that vehicle.
But it's tough to find those chargers.
Yeah, there's one in Madison on the east side near Walmart, an Electrify America station that has a couple of 350 kilowatt chargers, and they're becoming more common.
Most people will just charge them at home overnight, and you get 300 miles worth of range.
Yeah, and if you charge it at home, it'll be from 10% to 100%. That'll be about 7.5 hours. So you can certainly do that overnight.
Electric cars are here to stay. We got two more coming down the pipe, too.
It was just completely silent. You didn't hear anything?
You didn't hear a thing.
Boy,
Nothing
is that unsettling at all?
No, it's very nice.
Is it hard to get used to? I guess I'm perplexed.
It's really easy to get used to, and they have the one pedal driving mode that helps regenerate electricity. There's all kinds of really cool things about these electric vehicles.
All right, back to vacation, Harvey. Thank you for being with us today.
Great to see you.
We'll see you guys.
And we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
It started somewhere between a cuddle and a struggle. It's the side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9.
HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then, too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for others, it can cause certain cancers later in life. Welcome! Hi. Now, as the dad cab, it's my cue to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next. Ask their doctor about HPV vaccination today.
And my economic plan is moving this country in a better direction.
What planet is he living on? Record gas prices, 40-year high inflation, costing families $5 grand more for their necessities. Sorry, Joe, that's the wrong direction. Here on planet Earth, Senator Johnson voted against Biden's massive deficit spending that sparked inflation, and he passed tax cuts to help Wisconsin families survive the economic turmoil caused by Democrats.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Okay, everyone, our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Ensure complete balanced nutrition with 27 vitamins and minerals, and Ensure Complete with 30 grams of protein.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences.
Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Coming up at 5, the demand for the monkeypox vaccine grows. News 3 Now investigates the need for the vaccine in our community. And getting ready for tomorrow, we have a closer look at the candidates for you, breaking down everything you need to know for the Tuesday primary. Wisconsin is now one of the nation's most important political battlegrounds. The August primaries and November midterms could set a new course for our state and our country.
News 3 Now brings you a look at the key races and issues in campaign 2022 Battleground Wisconsin.
Tonight at 7.
Live view from the WISC Skycam looking to the west. A little bit of sunshine in the far western horizon. Farther out to the west, you can see more sunshine over southwestern Wisconsin from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Temperatures underneath the cloud cover in the 60s from Madison to the east. Notice to the west, temperatures are a little bit warmer as you're starting to get some sunshine. Those dew point temperatures are coming down. The weather should feel much more comfortable for the next couple of days. We'll be right back.
At iMart Express, you'll save on glasses for classes. For $79, get 2 pairs with kid-safe polycarbonate lenses and a free 1-year frame warranty. Don't let the bell ring before you get a chance to save. A $200 value, all for $79.
I'm Tim Michaels. The radical left, they're destroying everything we love about America. And too many establishment Republicans, they're along for the ride.
Tim Michaels, Army veteran, endorsed by President Trump.
I'm not some career politician. I'm a self-made Wisconsin businessman who doesn't give a rip about the special interests or their money. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm running for governor to turn Madison upside down and take back the freedoms that make Wisconsin great.
Tim Michaels for governor, endorsed by President Trump.
At USA Insulation, we fix hot homes. Over 7 out of 10 homes are poorly insulated. Is yours? Here are some of the signs. Is your house too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Does your furnace and AC run almost non-stop? Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Are your energy bills too high? You don't need a new home. You need better insulation. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
I love this state. Knock on any door in any county, and you'll find good-hearted, hard-working folks. People whose businesses I proudly helped as lieutenant governor. Hard work needs to be respected again, with fair wages and opportunities to get ahead. That's how my parents opened doors for me. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked third shift. I'm not one of these millionaires. I work just as hard for you as you work for your family. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
In today's Final Touch, if you're a fan of the old TV show The Golden Girls, you'll love this story.
Yep, a Golden Girls kitchen pop-up is up and running. The show-themed dining attraction recreates scenes from the iconic show. The team from a company called Bucket Listers have recreated the kitchen and Blanche's bedroom. Derek Berry, director of experience at Budget Listers, says, quote, every time we announce a pop-up, you look at the comments and people are like, I love it, but you should have done the Golden Girls. Well, now they have. The pop-up will move from Beverly Hills, where it is now, to San Francisco, New York City, Miami, and good news, southern Wisconsin, it's coming to Chicago next spring.
That is news.
At an undisclosed location, but people love it.
I'd love to see it.
The Golden Girls. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. Don't forget to vote tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.